Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. President Volodymyr Zelensky, Madam President of the European Commission. This is a meeting of a quite exceptional nature in the framework of the European Council, which took place this morning. This is a meeting at which many of us felt a very strong sense of emotion because we all remember the European Council, the extraordinary European Council, which took place on the 24th of February last year, just a few hours after the outbreak of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And indeed, we spoke virtually. President Zelensky spoke to the 27 heads of state and government. We all remember the very striking words that you used and speaking about the destiny of your country and of your own destiny. This meeting on 24th of February last year represented very probably a turning point in European history. We immediately understood on the part of all Europeans and of the 27 leaders that we were facing a new chapter in European history and European security. And this meant that very quickly we had to realize how essential unity is. It made us understand that we had to show a strong, firm support for the Ukrainian people, which through you, embodied by you, decided to resist, to fight, and to fight for the future of your people, of your country, of your children, and to resist in a very powerful way to defend the values of the European project, freedom, democracy, human dignity for every human individual. At this press conference, I'm not going to repeat all the measures that have already been put in place. I will focus on three main points, which I think should fully mobilize us in the coming days and weeks. And then I will make a brief conclusion after these 3 points. We understand that over the coming weeks and months, these will be no doubt of decisive importance. And because these coming weeks are so important, we must remain open-eyed, lucid. We must continue to provide maximum level of support. And I can see three main areas where we need to do that. In the military field, we have spoken about this on many occasions over recent weeks, with your meeting with President von der Leyen, and during the European Council, you were able to make your points in very clear and straightforward terms to the European leaders. And of course, you will have had and will have some informal contacts as well, talking about your military needs, what you need to help you defend and protect the integrity of Ukraine, artillery, munitions, defense systems, and this, you have told us exactly what you need and what you need now. That's the first point. Secondly, you come here with a message concerning the peace formula. And I would just say that in this respect, the European Union wants to be at your side and to bring to the international community a clear determination to respect international law, the UN Charter, and the sovereignty of Ukraine. We will spare no efforts day after day to carry on this diplomatic and political battle in all international fora. We want to see how it is possible to organize a summit for peace. We're fully aware that we cannot allow ourselves to back down, to be intimidated. We must be inspired by the courage of the Ukrainian people. And a third point I wanted to mention, I spoke about this a few days ago in Kyiv. You have followed the choice of the Ukrainian people, a free and sovereign choice, which was already expressed on the Maidan, to turn towards freedom and democracy and European destiny. You have asked for candidacy status in the European Union. And I think we can be very proud of the fact that the European leaders decided so quickly to grant candidate status to Ukraine for EU membership. Since then, despite the ongoing war, you have bravely and with great determination implemented reforms. We are very impressed with all the progress that has been made in just a few months. We know that after the summer there will be a report from the European Commission. My responsibility will be to ensure that the Council lives up to its responsibilities by the end of this year. On the basis of the Commission report, we can decide on the follow-up to this integration process for Ukraine in the European Union. These are the three main messages: military support, political, diplomatic support, and support for Ukraine's European destiny. And just by way of conclusion, I would just say that the European Union will maintain its determination to put pressure on the Kremlin. Sanctions are still on the table. The 10th sanctions package is being discussed. We want to take a consistent and firm approach. We want to ensure that those guilty of crimes can be held to account for those crimes, including for the crime of aggression. And that is why we have the initiatives to collect evidence and proof so that we can enable international justice to remove the impunity. In this respect, we want to ensure that we can also take the appropriate measures with regard to the frozen assets. It is only fair that these frozen Russian assets be used to rebuild Ukraine and to provide fair compensation to Ukraine. President Zelensky, in addressing your European counterparts, he referred to the founding fathers of the European Union, these key personalities in the wake of the Second World War who dreamt up this European project, this new promising future for Europeans who had been traumatized by the two tragic world wars which had devastated the European continent. All of us here, through our families, our parents, our grandparents who lived through the horrors of the Second World War, they saw the European project, peace and prosperity, as the key to a better future. These are the key to our European project. And our generation, your generation now, have come together around this common goal, this common destiny. We need to take the right decisions to ensure that peace and prosperity can remain the key values of the European project, and that these can hold sway across all of Europe in the coming decades. We are absolutely determined. And I would just say in conclusion, speaking here in Brussels, I would like to repeat what I said a few weeks ago in addressing the Ukrainian Parliament and the Ukrainian people. The European Union is Ukraine. Ukraine is the European Union. The European Union is our common home, and we will mobilize all our efforts to keep this promise. Slava Ukraini. Long live Europe.